Be me. Bridget. Saint Bridget now, I guess. I get killed by Necrons, but it seems like I wasn't supposed to stay gone. I get to come back and help everyone. I always wanted to help people, and now I can deliver the Emperor's merciful charity by hurting people. All my friends are here. They're all really glad to see me. My friend Connie hasn't talked to me much. It's alright though. I know she's busy with Canoness stuff. I asked her about me being a saint. She said, the Emperor helps those who need it the most. She's so wise. I keep busy fighting monsters. My face when the Canoness falls asleep. They say she's been fighting for days. It's okay. I can take care of things from here. That's what sisters are for. Be me. 82nd Orbital Assault Regiment. Emperor Phi. Spent the last 3 years training, being pushed relentlessly to prepare for our first assignment. Sitting in ships about to transfer in system. Stressed out Navy officer comes in. Says he's here to brief us. Gives a brief, garbled speech about the upcoming deployment. Something about 2 planets appearing. 6 different kinds of Xenos, with the Cyclone torpedo getting lost because of a governor's whore daughter who started the whole thing by fucking a bishop. What? Holopick? He runs out the room again before we can ask him questions. I didn't sign up for this shit. Be Scout Marine Furtivus. Be tracking down the traitor Marine Dust Bunny with the Blood Raven Strike Force, plus Stormtroopers, to kill the traitor Marine Dust Bunny and retrieve the gifted ordnance that he has stolen. It's surprisingly quiet down here. Too quiet. And I don't mean that in the it's a trap way. I mean, where the fuck is everybody? If I recall correctly, the child bishop who declared himself in charge of the planet decreed a manhunt against former brother Dust Bunny and the rest of the Blood Ravens for possibly harboring him. And yet, all we've found here are random mutants parties and Xeno stragglers from the previous conflict. Not a single bit of overt help hunting the heretic with the world-cleansing bomb. The only ones helping are the fucking stormtroopers, and they were gifts anyways. Although, it's not like we need the help. His trail is suspiciously easy to follow, and I am beginning to suspect darker forces are at work here. Even the stormtroopers seem to notice this. I pray that we are not walking into a trap. But seriously, what are those retards doing up there? Aren't they supposed to be hunting us? The fuck? Actually, what am I doing? Why am I asking what they're doing when they themselves probably haven't had a single clue as to what they were doing for the past who knows how long? Why is Brother Recepius waving his hand in front of me? Fuck, how long have I been standing here internally monologuing? Be Stinky Nurgle, bro. Praise the AIDS daddy. Warp Storm sent us somewhere off course. In bumfuck nowhere. Does Captain get message from Zinch follow in system? All according to plan, fag. Tries to land. Dark AdMech grabs message from shitty ass AdMech security. Learns how all this shit happened. What the fuck, .jpg? Sends prayers to Uncle Nurgle as I'm ready to spread my super metal eating AIDS that lives in fire. Good shit, boy. Be civilian. You and your family found somewhere to hide when everything went to shit. You're running out of food and water. Take a peek outside. Stuff is still on fire. Bolt-arounds pass way too close for comfort. Nope, not retreat. Be me. Ex-governor's ex-whore of a ex-daughter. Ex-heretic, too. My baby is so cool. He fought until his last breath, and he is totally badass now, with scars and bionics and shit. Cry out of happiness when he survives. Comfort him in every single moment of peace, even if I should die on this piece of shit day. We will enter the Emperor's realm together, or survive, and will live happily ever after. I will always be at his side. Faithfulness in relationships. Pasta. My face when there is another planet popping up. My face when Babe goes on a crusade against the Angels of Death. My face when I even see some Tau ground troops fighting orcs in the distance. Try to help my babe get all my beauty products, rejuvenant pills, and cosmetic and fashion magazines out of our summer residence, as my babe's crusade literally burns down so much Xenos, heretics, and mutants that the oceans begin to boil. Try to bribe the sororitas with it into joining our little comfy crusade. Be Sergeant of Scout Team Infernus, tracking down some blood raven that had too much of an appetite for gifts. It's surprisingly going pretty well. There's a nice path to follow. We're actually following another team that's already tracking him. Our camo even works for once. It was meant to blend in with molten rock, so it's normally pretty much like wearing a glowing target. But here, everything is on fire, so it really balances out. And there's the team we're tracking on the next Wait, those aren't blood ravens. Those are dark angels. I never noticed how similar our color schemes was. Emperor, they look so pasty in comparison. I think they're just hunting for anything called a traitor. What loyal servants of the Emperor? Thinking emoji. Magma. I wonder if there's another scout team following us too. I wouldn't be too surprised on this shit show of a planet. Or its brother. Speaking of, I wonder how the evacuation is going. I think the sergeant said he was going to liaise with the Sisterhood and see if they could get more shuttles. I hope he doesn't bring back the sister with the large rack. The scouts that had sex in the last 40-odd years wouldn't shut up about her. Kids these days, they're almost 60. Act your age and stop trying to rob the cradle. V. Fessus. Walking along these dusty-ass caverns with the crew and blood ravens. Been walking with all this heavy-ass gear for what seems like forever with no end in sight. Mostly because there's barely anything in sight. It's dark as shit down here. Want to engage in my favorite hobby, complaining, but can't because I don't want to give the Magpie Boys second thoughts about taking us along. Internal struggle. Inner screech. Keep going along. See random pink goop smeared along a section of the floor. Lloyd, with more bravado than brains, decides to find out what it is or what it means by stepping on it. Suddenly, shitty-ass half-destroyed ground breaks beneath Lloyd and he falls through. Good news. He survives with nothing more than a few bruises. The pack absorbed most of the fall. Better news. He found our traitor. Bad news. He found out by landing on top of him, which certainly got his attention. Fire some hotshot and plasma rounds at him to get his attention off of the moaning figure of Lloyd. Big baby, walk it off. completely with Phil shouting about how he was a traitorous faggot and unworthy of the armor he wore. Seriously, does he just spend his free time writing all these speeches for later? Wow, it actually does more than that. I can actually see the song's marks where I hit him. Although Marcus misses his plasma shot when a bolt round almost takes off his head. Thankfully, he had all but forgotten about Lloyd, who, in an act of what was either bravery or stupidity, throws a flashbang right in front of his face. I had no clue how well it would work, but it seemed to work well enough for the magpies to jump down through the hole, narrowly missing landing on Lloyd. The traitor books it with the bomb still on his back, and the force commander with tactical squad hot on his trail. It is then I start wondering some real important questions. Like, how volatile are cyclonic torpedoes?